Joining us on the program now on Memphis Morning News. Time now is 6:34, and we say hello to a new friend of the program. Great to have on author and speaker on healthy living. She's the author of Age to Perfection, How to Thrive to 100, Happy, Healthy, and Wise. I like the sound of that. Judy Gaman joins us this morning on Memphis Morning News. Judy, thanks for joining us. How are you doing?
Thrilled to be on with you. How are you doing, Tim, there in Memphis?
It's Friday. It's sunny here. The allergies have not flared up yet. I'm a solid 8.5 out of 10 right now, I tell you. And Judy, I'm looking at this headline that was sent to us in advance of your call this morning. A major study debunks the myth that moderate drinking can be healthy. I'm shocked, but not shocked. What's the study showing?
Well, I agree with you. Shocked but not shocked. All the medical community, we knew this, right? But this study, 160,000 people, no tiny study, it's a big study, shows us that one drink a day, just one, whether it's a beer or a glass of wine, 10 to 15% increase in stroke risk. And if you like more than one, you get up to like 4 a day, your risk increases to 35%. It's astounding, really, but it's a really good study, and I really believe it. And, you know, I hate to tell you it's Friday, and I'm going to tell you not to drink, but guess what? I'm going to tell you not to drink.
Yeah, I mean, now here's the conundrum, and I wanted to use that as my word of the day, Judy, so I've now worked in the word conundrum, because, you know, it is the weekend, and we hear studies, and I guess these are mutually exclusive, perhaps, how a glass of wine a day can be good for you. So really, you have to be, if you're going to quote unquote pick your poison, you have to be very specific, right?
Well, you have to be specific, but it's really all of the alcohols, and wine's included in this study.
Really?
And it is. And the thing that changed everything is we now can look at genetics and epigenetics, things we didn't have before. We knew that if we drink alcohol, it increases inflammation. Inflammation causes heart attack, stroke, diabetes, cancer, all those things. But we thought that, or some people thought that, if you drank wine because it has resveratrol, that it was going to actually keep you young. Well, you'd have to drink bottles of wine, lots of bottles of wine, to get enough resveratrol. So stick to resveratrol out of a bottle, and the rest of the time, avoid the alcohol. I mean, it's really amazing the things that we learn that we didn't know before. I mean, you've heard this before. You've heard all these things that they once said were bad for us and now they're good for us, and vice versa. It's because we have the ability to look inside the cell and say, wow, if you're at risk for a stroke, how do we turn or don't turn on that gene? And this shows us that alcohol will turn on that gene, and we don't want that.
Judy Gaman joining us this morning. She's an author and speaker on healthy living. I'd like to give you a follow-up question. If you don't know the answer on this is okay. No points counted off, Judy. But you mentioned is it resveratrol or resveratrol in, I guess, wine? What is that, and what are some other sources where that can be found and be effective?
Well, resveratrol is in wine because it's in the skin of the grapes.
Okay.
And it really the best way to get it in larger amounts is to get it through a supplement. And not all resveratrol is created equal. You'll see all these commercials. You'll find it at the drugstore. Getting a good pharmaceutical-grade resveratrol, you can pick it up at StayYoungVitamins.com. They have Resvita, and there's resveratrol. It's the purest form. This is really important to take it encapsulated. And what it does is it actually helps your body stop the aging process. Now, it can't reverse the aging process, but it tones down the inflammation, and it has a protective factor to it. Some people say that it actually helps them with belly fat. I don't know. I've never seen that, but I have heard that before out of patients. But it's a good thing to do, and it's a good thing to take. Why haven't we seen this come across the drug market? Because it's found naturally, and it can't be patented. Now, GlaxoSmithKline actually purchased the research on resveratrol because they're trying to find a synthetic form so they can patent it. But right now, we don't need synthetics, and quite frankly, if you can get the real thing, get the real thing. So get a good pharmaceutical-grade resveratrol, and that'll do the trick.
Judy Gaman joining us on Memphis Morning News. For inflammation, for a lot of folks, especially as we get older, recovering from physical activity and from any kind of injuries, it takes longer and longer. What are some other things that people can look at to really help get themselves up and going and just and feeling better? What are some supplements and what are some natural foods that contain some of the items that people would need and should consume, in your opinion?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because if we can control the inflammation, that's a really good first step. So lifestyle-wise, get enough sleep. Nutrition-wise, the more color you have in your food, the higher the nutrient content. And berries, like blueberries, raspberries, have a really good phytonutrient level that will help tone down the inflammation. So we see people that live past 100. At Executive Medicine of Texas, we're actually able to do some micronutrient testing inside of the cell, so we can see when people are on good, healthy diets that are supplemented slightly. Omega-3 is a really good reducer of inflammation. But we can see when people have a good, nutritious diet, not only are they healthy on the outside, but deep inside the cell, they're healthy. And we also do something called telomere testing, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with.
No.
But we can look at your age, not just your chronological age, but your biological age. How short are your chromosomes, the telomeres on the ends of your chromosomes? Because as those shorten, you're closer to death. And the longer you can keep those by doing healthy things, like eat well and sleep well and exercise moderately, these are all very important things to longevity. And they're not hard to do, and they're not rocket science.
Well, I tell you what, I've learned a lot in the last 5-6 minutes. I had never heard of that before, so that was brand new. Sherry's nodding her head in the producer's booth. All right, the book is called Age to Perfection: How to Thrive to 100, Happy, Healthy, and Wise. Judy Gaman, it has been a delight to talk with you. Please don't be a stranger. We hope to catch you next time around here in Memphis.
Love to be back. Thank you.
All right, there's Judy.